Jay? Testing, testing. Y'all with me here? I can't hear you. You with me here? All power to the people. All power to the people. I know y'all paid the rent here, right? The rent's paid? Jay, is the rent paid? Nobody's gonna kick us out though, right? So we can make some noise? Look here, y'all. Nobody's gonna kick us out, so let's make some noise. We here for all power to the people, so that's our thing. Let's kick it. All power to the people. All power to the people. Panther to the vanguard. We was kind of weak right there, y'all. Let's do that one more time. Let's get some revolutionary enthusiasm in here. We're going to do that one more time. Panther power to the vanguard. Panther power to the vanguard. All power to all people. All power to all people. All power to brown people. All power to brown people. All power to the women. All power to the women. All power to the oppressed. All power to the oppressed. All power to black people. All power to black people. Power to the gangs. Power to the help me out. Alienated. We're gonna give power to white folks too, y'all. We can't get none. All power to white folks. All power to white folks. Especially those that don't have no power. Because that's why we're here. Because the ones that got the power, they done fucked up. You agree? They done fucked up big time. I'm not violating any obscenity clauses and shit, am I? Well, people done fucked up big time. That's why we here. And our theme is all power to the people. My name is Shareef Abdullah. I'm representing the new Panther Vanguard movement. Now, previously we was known as the Black Panther Party. And I had the good fortune of being a member of the Black Panther Party. But the Black Panther Party that used to exist in '66 is dead. Is dead. So long live the new Panther Vanguard movement, because we here to carry on the work that the Black Panther Party originated in 1966. That's why we here. That's why you here. And the slogan that the Black Panther Party came up with, all power to the people, and that means essentially just that, all power to all people. And we understand that the reason why we don't have power now is because the power is being usurped from us by the people that got control. And they may look like us sometimes, they may talk like us sometimes, but if they don't have the people's concern at heart, fundamentally at heart, then they ain't one of us. And we can see that. Why do I say that? You can see it in the country right now. You got the haves and you got the have-nots. You got people divided on what people look like, where they come from. Now, anybody in here, did I have a choice on being black? Did you have a choice on being white? Did you have a choice, brother, on losing your hair? Did you have a choice, my man, of being short? This is something that's beyond our control. It is. It really is. Now, if I really wanted to, I could be, want to wish myself into existence. But that shit ain't possible. We here because of factors beyond our control. So the question is, how in the hell are we going to live? Are we going to live divided? Are we going to live, I'm on this side, you on that side? Are we going to live, are we going to talk about a problem because it's a black problem that it doesn't have the same significance as a white problem? That's what we're facing with right now. That's what the nation is bringing us right now. That's what the world is bringing. That if you're born poor, you may be hungry all your life, neglected. And so this shit that everybody else see, you only can see on your TVs. You can't participate into it. What is that going to do? What happens to a dream deferred? We that dream that's deferred. And we will not have it no longer. Collectively, we are that. Because what unites us is greater than what disunites us. Do you agree? We all need food, right? We all need water, right? Clean water. We all need air. We all need these pigs to get up off our back. Can you feel me? Huh? Can you feel me? So the pigs that's in here, take this message back to your bosses. We sick and tired of it. And that's why we organize it. Why? Because we want power to the people. And we ain't going to get it, y'all, through just slogans. I mean, that's a starting point to get us where we need to be. But it's not going to get us to the goal line. It's not going to get us to freedom, justice, and equality for everybody. What we got to do? We got to mass. We got to get with the like-minded people that think like us, that recognize that it's no more about skin color. It's all about social justice and economic justice. And so when we see attack on one, that's really attack on everybody. Everybody that's in here. Everybody that live here. You know, and if you're not fighting against racism, you're benefiting from it. You're benefiting from it. If you're not fighting against it, you're actively benefiting from it. And the reason why I say that is because this is a very racist country. The history shows that. Look at the Indians. You know what I'm saying? If you have any doubt, look at the American Indians. Have any doubt. Look at the Orientals and everything that was put in the concentration camps in 1943. Huh? Look at all that. Look at the comrades that just trapped in these ghettos, trapped in these prison industries and everything. The fastest growing public housing in the world is right here in this prison system. Look at all of that shit. And just add it up and say, does racism play a part in this? Hell yeah. So if you feel that way, say it. Does racism play a part in this? Hell yeah. Does racism play a part in this? Hell yeah. Goddamn straight. Now what we gonna do? We gotta recognize it. We gotta recognize it's racism. But then we got to confront it and beat it. Erase racism. But we gotta recognize that it exists. So when you see the racists around you in the midst, don't let them go unchecked. And this goes for racism of all stripes and persuasions. If you see machoism, don't let that shit go unchecked. If you see brothers oppressing sisters, don't let that shit be unchecked. The same way, all the way around. You know, we got to take an oath for this. We got to be down with this. We got to live it on an everyday basis. Every day. From the moment your foot touched the floor, you got to live it. It's got to be a way of life. And when we have rallies, when you have demonstrations, we got to go out there and support it. 100%. 100%. It's more than just wearing badges and T-shirts and slogans and everything. We got to effectively organize, because if we don't organize, man, we ain't going to be around. That's the reality. They're going to replace all of us. Everyone in here. You know, and then that's genocide. But if we don't do nothing about it, we don't do nothing about the problem, we deserve whatever happens to us. You understand? We're in war. Really. And it's war on all fronts. So we got to be soldiers on the front line 24/7. And this shit is serious. If you think it's not serious, look at the 39, 38, 40 members of the Black Panther Party that was assassinated by the government informers. Snitches, police, punk motherfuckers. That's why we here, because we got a debt to pay. And not just with the Black Panther Party, with AIM, Brown Berets, my bad, but the whole nine, man. It's all kind of revolutionaries that struggle, a lot of revolutionaries that still doing time right now as we speak. They will never see the light of day again on the outside walls. But we out here on the outside walls, so therefore we got a greater obligation. We didn't make this struggle. We didn't make this situation that, you know, we into right now. But we got to end this shit. Because otherwise, the way this country is going to go, we're going to be at war at each other. And then the fascists done won. You know, I don't know how your political ideology is, but I feel from where my position is in South Central, the Constitution has already been suspended. Martial law has been declared. That's what time it is. That's the reality that we face every day. We don't want the same shit to be spreading all the way around the country, but it is. It is. And you guys would be prime targets for that. You already know that shit. That's why you're here. So we got to organize, come together. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a right thing. We on the right. doing the right, checking these folks, these fools up here that don't want to share resources. Everybody deserves to eat. Everybody deserves decent housing. Everybody deserves education that's going to teach them their role in present-day society. Everybody deserves this. Political prisoners, when they lock people up for their political beliefs, that's blatantly against the fucking law. And yet they do it every goddamn day. Why? Because we don't stand up. We stand up for Geronimo after he's been locked down for 23 years, maybe longer than that. But what about the average, everyday, nameless and faceless motherfucker that's out here? Who's standing up for him? Who's standing up for her? We got a big job to do, comrades. Big job to do. This is one of the first steps right now, though. You here, you struggling. I challenge you to get organized, individually and then collectively, and continue it on. Pass on the torch. We got a historic debt to pay, you know, and nobody's gonna give us shit, you know. Freedom. I mean, the oppressor is not gonna give us nothing. The oppressed nothing unless we make a demand for it, and we're willing to do whatever's necessary in order to make that shit happen. That's the only way we're gonna get freedom. That's the only way we're gonna break down the barriers, the artificial barriers of color, race, class, and all the rest of the bullshit that they put in front of us. Let's just be people. Can we just be people? Can we just be people? Can we have an affirmative? Can we just be people? That's the task that we face with right now. Just being people. Remove all the labels off of us. Take away all the labels. Just see your brothers and sisters as people. Human people. You know what I'm saying? As living human. You know, a lot of people lost the ability to be human. Really. Because they checkbook and pocketbook and resources and this and Lexus and all this sort of shit come in their way of being human. We can't allow that. And when we see it, we got to strike it down and check those folks. You know, the best of speeches is short speeches. Have I been talking long enough? Have I been talking long enough? Basically, I really don't know if you really get me, so I really like to hear questions. You know what I'm saying? That way I know if I'm connecting to you, you know, because this is a complex thing. There's no blueprint for revolution. The only thing that's required, you got to be honest. You got to have integrity. You got to be a human, in other words, in order to make this shit happen. Because there's so many people that be in our midst. And you think they down with you, but they ain't down with you. They're ready for you to slip up. So when they come to you, and they say they got a gun for you, you want you to go do this and blow that shit up and do this, check those people out the most. The reason I say that, because I was in the Black Panther Party. And that was one of the ways that they came in and infiltrated the party and fucked up some shit. Now, most people probably think the Black Panther Party was anti-white. It wasn't. We wasn't anti-nobody. We was anti-police, anti-establishment, anti-oppression, you know, but we allowed the media to define us. And so this is a lesson that we can now, you know, we got to take heed to. We got to define ourselves. We got to define our struggle. And we can't allow nobody to put their labels on our struggle and tell us what we need to do. So I challenge you again to study the history. Because if you don't study the history, the shit will come back and boomerang and hit you in the face. And then you be locked up behind some RICO laws or conspiracy laws. They have you locked up. And you can't make revolution when you're locked up. You need to make revolution out here. It's enough comrades that's already locked up. So we got to get to history, man. We got to study. Got to know about the Wesleyan. Got to know about SDS. Got to know about the Black Panther Party, the Brown Berets, all revolutionary struggles out here, so that we can put together the blueprint that's going to take us to the 21st century. You know, we got to, all around the world, we see the Tupac Amur demonstration, what happened over there. You know, we got to take lessons from that. Because these fascists is not playing. They're not playing. And they catch you slipping and take you all out. So we got to be careful. We got to be diligent in our study and then our application of that study. And we can't allow the oppressor to define our struggle for us and have us going down blind alleys that's not going to lead us towards nothing but bullshit. And if we wanted to bullshit, we can find something right now to be bullshitting about. But this shit is serious. Our lives is serious. The kids that's coming up under us, their lives is serious. You know, their education is serious. This bullshit that most of us get taught in the schools, it prepare you for nothing but bullshit, to perpetuate this bullshit that's already happening. You know, we got to reject that. We got to start our own history study regardless of what they taught you. You got to get that shit out your mind because you've been brainwashed. We all been brainwashed to a certain degree. Anytime that they can bring Willie Horton on and that changed the whole course of a presidential election, you know, the whole country is fucked up. Anytime Pete Wilson can come in here and talk about let's kick out all the immigrants and shit, let's lock everybody up, throw away the key for 25 years to life. You know, this whole country is fucking crazy. Anytime you can dump food away and have artificial price supports and we don't have kids having milk, you know, shit like that, food, righteous food, you know, water that's not messed up, air that's not messed up. You know, this threatens the survival of the whole world. The whole world. And ain't no little corner pockets where you can just get away from the shit unless you're on an island. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing like that, you know. So this is a very comprehensive task that we got to undertake. We're already in the beginning stages of it. Now we just got to mash together, organize ourselves together so we can kick in this fucking dough. You understand what I'm saying? And have freedom, equality, justice, economic justice, social justice for everybody. For everybody. I challenge everybody, too, to get one of our newspapers. We got an 8-point platform in there. And I dare anybody to say that our 8-point platform doesn't fit the needs and desires of the people. And that's what we need to come across, a document, a constitution that we all can adopt to live our lives and everything. And just think, whatever you want for yourself, the next person got the same right for it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to share equally in the resources. That's why we're at each other's throats, because we got people that's pimping us, really. And they pimping white folks more than they pimping anybody. Really. They pimping white folks more than they pimping anybody. You know, so you got to really stand up, man. You know, this is not a black problem. It's a people's problem. It's a humanity problem, not just a brown problem. We all live together. You know, if they get sick, we gonna fuck around and get sick too. Disease don't know no color lines and economic lines. You know, that's what we got to face with. That's the seriousness of this struggle. So we talking about organizing every segment of the people that's for the truth. Black, white, brown, and we got to keep everybody accountable. You know, everybody got to be accountable. So when you see people in your own group, you got to check them if they're doing wrong. If we have racism that's in our group, we got to check that racism. You know, that's our job. That's our obligation to this struggle. Do you feel me? Are we on the same page? Are we on all power to the people page? That's what we got to be. Do we have any questions?
What does the red band symbolize?
Security. Security, that's all. But you thought I was a communist? A Marxist? Actually, I reject labels, you know what I'm saying? It's really no symbolic shit to this, you know, other than what you want to put on it. But I reject labels, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a communist, I'm not a Marxist, you know, because I don't want people just to put me in a little trick bag. It's too easy to put me in a trick bag. I might want to come into my roster move, you know what I'm saying?
So I don't expect you to have an answer for this, but what do you guys think about, like, the idea that maybe it's not even like the way we have our city set up right now, how many people we got crowded in cities like in LA, Chicago, New York? Do you think it's even possible to get proper drinking water and the resources that we need with the way it's set up right now?
I think we got to do it very quickly. You know, we got to seize people control very quickly because they got nuclear plants and shit that's right by the water. You know, we got the water sources not protected because they use profits instead of people's interests. So I think it really don't matter where you at. You know, I think all the water systems is corrupt. They got all these metals and toxic shit in there, you know. The food that we eat is fucked up, you know. So if we don't hurry up and get people's power, man, we're going to be eating diseased food and fucked up water until we change this shit, basically. So I don't think you really can isolate yourself, really.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, do you think it's impossible to get the proper resources, like, to get the people, like, okay, say if you even had the ability to feed the people, but, like, to even get the good food to the people in the city, or to get the good water in the city, because the main problem we have right now is transporting the water through the pipes, and they got to take it so far, that's why they have to put so many chemicals in to keep it, fresh through the shit
right.
that happens underground and shit.
Well, I'm an optimist, really. I think if we seize control, I'm a good believer in human nature. I think we can do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I think as long as we got our priorities straight, that people's interests got to come before profits, we can do the right thing. Yes. Well, brother, well, in revolutionary struggle, it's a time period for everything. Right now, I don't see us being in the armed struggle aspect of it because we haven't really mastered the other things yet. Armed struggle is very serious. Very serious, very stern stuff. And you're dealing with comrades, you should have been ideally then dealt with them 10, 12, 15 years before you know somebody. I mean, to really get to know them and everything. But I think it's a new world order right now in effect. I think the Constitution has already been fucked up. Martial law already been declared. But I think it's all about on where you at right now. I think the people that's poor and without resources, legal resources and economic resources, they really feeling it right now. They see the effects of it. I think for everybody else, it may be just in theory. But I think it's definitely on the way and it's coming. And I don't think you're ever going to have just a proclamation that say martial law has been declared. I think they already done it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the beauty of what they done. They already done it. It's already one world order. You know what I'm saying? They're waiting for people to see it now. But if you look at the economic system, one nation can exist independently of another nation right now economically. Look at the political ties, military ties. They all in the blocks. It's all one block basically. Everybody's operating off the stock market and everything. So I really think you already got one world order already. And I think martial law has already been declared. Do we need an armed struggle? I believe so. Are we at that time right now? No. It takes a lot more serious organizing because we're in it to win it. We're not in it to be terrorists, and if you misread the people, you'd be like Thomas McVeigh. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to misread the people. We want this shit to win. We're not really here to destroy shit if we can avoid destroying shit. We're really trying to build up vehicles to get the people, political vehicles to voice their concerns, their needs and aspirations. And it's got to be done in every community. We got to exhaust all peaceful means, really. And we haven't really done that. And so if we move on the violence tip prematurely, it's going to turn the people against us and make us outlaws and criminals. And then they come in and destroy everybody.
I was wondering, do you have any advice on how to directly deal with racism and sexism within your immediate family? With parents and stuff?
It's a long process. And because, like a lot of folks, their minds is already made up. To the madness. And I really try to devote my time to the people that's receptive towards this. We can give it to them, but I don't feel like you can force a person to be righteous, to be human. I think you just got to put it out there in the best possible way that one can put it out there, and then it's up to that person to accept it or reject it. And I think we got to lead by example. Not only we got to put it out there, but we got to lead by example at the same time. But it's a hard struggle, because you look at TV and everything, they teach it. You look at the educational books, that's what people learn it at right there. You look at TV, how do you resolve a contradiction? Get a gun and blow the Indian away, blow the bad guy away. You know what I'm saying? So we learn the violence, we learn the sexism, we learn the racism. It's embedded in our system. Yes.
Don't you agree that there's lots of kinds of racism and like prejudices that not necessarily need to go like they can be checked, but there are times and places you need to ignore. You can't fight in every front. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, because I used to be with an organization where we went around and we like fucked up Nazis basically. You know
Right.
what I mean? Believe it or not, where we came back, and like after a while, it's bitching, but you know what I mean. But after a while, like I realized that people just had like, I mean, they became prejudiced in themselves. Where like they didn't really. I mean, I understand, like, you know, you got to fight and everything, but there's sometimes you just got to let things go. There's a time and place where that person really needs to be stopped. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And you can't just go around stalking every person that says, you know, nigger or something like that. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And, you know, the thing is, they always try to put us as opposites of the Nazis and the Klan and all that sort of stuff.
Totally.
And we're not opposites. And we don't want our behavior to mirror what they doing. They try to put us on a TV show with the Klan. We rejected that shit. We're not opposites of the Klan. We're not carbon copies of the Klan. They fucked up and racist and reactionary. We progressive. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. That's another thing why we can't allow them to define our struggle for us. We got to remain humane in this thing. We got to be revolutionary in our conduct. You know, we can't. Even though they shit's fucked up, we can't just do the same shit they do. We're operating on a whole different standard. You know, we got to pick and choose our battles.
And don't you agree also that we should like keep an eye out for like people with hardcore like martyrdom complexes?
Yes.
As far as like, you know what I mean, like even if it came a time and place where we had an armed struggle, I mean, people with martyr complexes are gonna fuck that up a lot faster. You know what I mean?
Well, we teach our
They don't
people.
want to die for something. They don't want to live for something. You know what I mean?
That's the point. And that's the point that we teach our people. It's easy to die. Relatively easy. We can all go out right now and commit mass suicide. That shit's easy. It's harder to live. It's harder to live in this struggle. Because we don't know how long this struggle's going to last. I thought this shit would be over with when the time I first started. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. So it's harder to live. And that's the lesson that we want to get across, because you can't really make... You die right now, you think you're gonna be a martyr, right?
Well, I don't think so, but I watch out. You know, I remember living. I remember like being raised. You know, my brother got me into fucking anarchist and political movements when I was like 15, and I remember like when I wasn't part of my community and I didn't recognize people as brothers and sisters, all over the world. I was like, yeah, I'll die for that. I'll remember there's this guy that did this and this. You know what I mean? But that don't mean nothing.
Don't mean shit. Because you may not be remembered for shit.
Exactly.
You know, nameless and faceless. It's more about living, you know, because we got too many people out here that don't know what's happening. Each one of us is like worth 100 people. You know what I'm saying? Worth 100, provided that we righteous. But we got to go out there and each one teach one. We got to put it out there for everybody. Give them a chance to become righteous. Give them a chance to become human. Give them a chance to think. You know what I'm saying? So we got to translate our individual power to collective power. You know, and we got the power to do it. You know, we have done it. And we have this new generation that's coming up now. Listen to hope. When Jesse Jackson said keep hope alive, he's talking about us collectively. We that hope. And if we fuck up, if we don't do the mission, complete the task, there ain't gonna be no hope. No hope. I'm gonna conclude this in the way that we always do it. And hopefully we can have this a revolutionary slogan heard from one part of California all the way to corners of Maine. All power to the people.
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 Panther power to the vanguard.
Panther power to the vanguard.
Power to the oppressed.
Power to the oppressed.
Dare to struggle, dare to win.
Dare to struggle, dare to win.
If you don't dare to struggle,
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 then goddamn it,
then goddamn it,
you don't deserve to win.
you don't deserve to win.
All power to the people.